Yo, this is Nash.
Yo, this is Zach.
And we're about to do a Romeo and Juliet rap.
Oh yeah.
So back in 1595 or so, Will Shakespeare put out a hot new show. It was rad, it was bad, the dynamite play, which is why it still blows your mind today. So listen up good and a rip you'll get out of Romeo and Juliet. In the town of Verona, if you've heard the news, lived the Capulets and the Montagues. They shredded their stuff, these muckety mucks, and designer threads cost them big bucks. They hated each other, did these families. You could say they were lifelong enemies. Now, the leading man, as soon you will know, was a Montague son named Romeo. He was young and slim, a stud supreme, ready for action and loaded with steam. So listen up to good Romeo as he raps with his pal Mercutio. Mercutio, buddy, I could use some kicks. Let's get together with local chicks.
Pal Romeo, it's nothing new. You're looking for love like you always do.
You can say that I'm the romantic type, but gotta get the creeps where the beach is right.
Well, there's a party tonight. It's a super bash. It's just the kind of bash that we should crash.
Sounds cool, it does. It should be a blast. Just tell me where and I'll get the fast.
At the Capulet's house, which is not good news, cause they ain't too fond of Montagues.
I agree that it's not a friendly place. I just wear a mask and hide my face. But Romeo, he's no dingling. He crashes the party and does his thing. Once he gets inside, he cruises the place behind his mask, which covers his face. He keeps his cool till a chick he spots, for whom he instantly has the hots. But Romeo, he doesn't know it yet. That is Juliet, and she's a Capulet. Well, hi there, honey. You're out of sight. You're the foxiest chick I've met tonight.
Well, thanks so much. You're a gorgeous hunk. I think my heart just went kerplunk. You're due to the class, and I can tell we could get together really well.
I feel the vibes. We just can't miss. Well, let's seal it, baby, with a kiss.
I like your lips. Oh, yeah, indeed. A guy who moves with speed. But, honey, before we go too far, shouldn't we know who you are?
No need for names and all that stuff. We're hitting it off, and that's enough. Well, they break their clinch and separate. They get the news that sealed their fate. Juliet finally gets a clue that Romeo is a hated Montague. As for Romeo, he must have upset finding out that she's Capulet. But to them, it's a technicality. After all, they've got this chemistry. They're hooked for good. They're both in heat. They get bit tricked and get the treat. Soon Romeo splits, but he can't forget how it feels when he close to Juliet. And later that night, who does he see? Juliet on a balcony. Juliet, baby, you're chill, you're rad. For your beautiful bod, I've got it bad.
Oh, Romeo, honey, I'm gone, I'm shook. I can hardly wait until we cook.
Same here, sweetie, don't forget, I'm Montague and you're a Capulet. Both families hate each other as gods. But without you, baby, I surely go nuts.
If it busts their chops, they all can choke. I'm yours for keeps, I ain't blowing smoke.
You know that our folks will flip their lids. After all, we're just two teenage kids. But I'm hot for you and you're hot for me, so we've got to get hitched in secrecy. Tomorrow to Friday Lawrence will go and he'll make you Mrs. Romeo. That is, if the notion appeals to you.
You know that's what it does. I say I do.
Now, Friar Lawrence is a real cool guy. He marries a couple on the sly. He gives his word that nobody will know that Juliet wed Romeo. Later that day, who does Romeo meet but Mercutio on a local street. They shoot the breeze and have a good schmooze, but they ain't prepared for some bad news. Cause coming along is a nasty dude with the most bodacious attitude. His name is Tybalt and he's mean that as they get, and to make matters worse, he's a Capulet.
Hey Romeo, you Montague nerd. You're the Prince of Wimps, that's what I heard.
Don't forget me, Tybalt. Better stash your sword. You're either half smashed or out of your gourd.
Get off my turf, you Montague zip. I'll slice you up into little bits.
This gets a rise from Mercutio, who stands up for his buddy Romeo. He won't let anyone wax his chum, especially Tybalt, that creepy bum. They draw their swords and both their goals is to fill the other guy with holes. But Romeo says this isn't right and stands between them to stop the fight. Sticky Tybalt in a flash stabs Mercutio with an awful gash.
Oh, Romeo, buddy, he got me good. How come you stood where you shouldn't have stood?
I was hoping that I could stop the fight.
Well, I'm bleeding to death, so you stopped it all right. So long, old buddy. Before I go, piece of news that you should know. I ain't a Capulet or a Montague, so hear me good when I'm telling you. You want your chums to stay alive, dude. Don't get involved in no family feud.
Romeo is now mad as hell. His buddy's been waxed, which don't sit well. He draws a sword, pulls up his tights, and goes after Tybalt to put out his lights. Though Tybalt's a snake, a lousy swine, a duel with Romeo sits him fine. But Romeo's nose is out of joint. He waxes Tybalt, who gets the point. Once he knocks off Tybalt, poor Romeo, he took the He looked real fast for a place to go. He splits the scene and dashed off to stay with Friar Lawrence, who hides him away. Let's take a look now, Juliet, who hears the news and is in a sweat.
I should be happy, young newlywed, but Tybalt's my cousin and now he's dead. What's even worse is the news, you know, the guy who killed him was Romeo. Sure, Romeo fills my heart with thrills, but now you can't love a guy who kills. I tell you, sister, it ain't no lie, I'm feeling like I'd like to die.
As soon as Romeo, who's on the lam, he knows he's in a most dreadful jam. I should be happy, young newlywed, but Mercutio now is dead. What's even worse, I can't forget that I waxed the cousin of Juliet. It's a bummer, believe me, when you try to exist and you know you're on the most wanted list. I'll tell you, brother, when all is said, the way I'm feeling, I'd rather be dead. But they soon bounce back from feeling sad, 'cause they're still hung up on each other real bad. Instead, Romeo shrugs off his gloom and climbs a wall into Juliet's room. One look at him and her gloom's gone too, and he stays the night while they pitch some woo. They have a ball, but you can bet that their troubles ain't quite over yet. After Romeo splits, poor Juliet meets her papa, old man Capulet. He tells her, "Julie, I'm thinking today that you ought to get hitched, and right away. I picked that fella that you'll get to marry to. His name is Paris, and he's the guy for you." This piece of news lays Juliet low, 'cause she's already married to Romeo. She's stressed out bad and singing the blues when she tells Friar Lawrence the awful news.
Friar Lawrence, I'm in a terrible state. My papa wants Paris to be my mate. I can't do it because anybody can see if I marry his parents, it's bigamy.
Now, Juliet, don't have a cow. I have a clever plan that'll work right now. I've prepared a special drug for you. You could call it a far-out miracle brew. You took one gulp and fallen a faint. Folks will think that you're dead, but you really ain't. You'll be laid to rest, but then you'll revive, and you'll feel real happy because you're alive. Then you'll split this town, and off you go. Just you and your hubby, Romeo. Well, Juliet swallows that crazy drug, which knocks her out till she's flat as a rug. She puts in a tomb, 'cause her folks never guessed that she wasn't really dead, but just getting a rest. She'll wake up, of course, in a day or so, and run off with her husband, Romeo. There's just one problem that lies ahead. Poor Romeo hears that Juliet's dead. He opens the tomb for a final look, and you gotta know that he's really shook. When he sees the body of his beautiful chick, he swallows some poison that kills him quick. He's lying there cold, no longer alive, when Juliet begins to revive. She looks around, and what does she see but Romeo, as dead as can be. With him not around, what's good is life? So she stabs herself with a suicide knife. With both of them dead, it's not good news for the Capulets and the Montagues. They're sobbing and weeping, and they're all unglued. When they see the result of their family feud, they know that their hearts, they've all been wrong. So they promise each other that they'll get along, though they'll have to do it, they all regret, without Romeo and Juliet.